can just give us an idea. One of the points which we're discussing was if you could share us the specific criteria which you use for GST audit, then I think I can have one more round of presentation where I specifically tell you, for example, Subbu, Mahadev was saying that we would like to look at sampling or duplicate or gaps. So if you could specifically tell us this is what I'm looking for, then I think it becomes easier. 1 minute. Is my screen visible? You're able to see my Excel screen?
Yeah, we can see the Excel sheet, yes.
Yeah, this is what we have got.
Yeah.
Okay, let me give a quick idea. See, in this case, if you look at there are 2 or 3, how many of your clients use Tally?
Maybe around 50 to 60%, sir.
Okay. Then what we do is, right. So in that case, there are three types of software. As of now, I think for you, the most important is, let's say, ECAT is a data analytics software. Now, this is an add-in software to Excel. So when you click on Excel, if you see, this is the Excel software. We've got 3 softwares, the ECAT, Tally, E2TallySoft, and TCAT. So TCAT is a specific software primarily meant for exporting data from Tally to Excel in a structured format. Okay, and then ECAT is a data analytics software which has got more than 350 functions. For example, you want to do sampling, you want to do duplicate, you want to do gaps. I've got some sample data. I'll show you some of the functions in this. So if you see here, and next one more, we have got E2TallySoft, which is not relevant. That is primarily for importing data from Excel to Tally. We have another one called as Auto ECAT. That is, if you want to standardize your process, you can also make it as a template and you can run all the tests at one shot. So here my primary focus is on ECAT. Now let's look at this data. Now I've got this, let's say this particular data pertaining to sales. It's got about 300, around 300 plus transactions. Now here I've got the names as per the, now for example, first thing I want to do is, this is the data exported from a billing software or a software which they have used internally. This gives all the sales transactions, GST sales transactions. I'll quickly show you a few things. Now, for example, let's say I would like to get this data of sales as per the name of the party. I'll show you some functions, but if you have specific things, you can tell me. I'll show you that specific thing only. Now here, I'm just going based on the receipt amount. I just picking only some samples so that we can get. I'm just picking a few examples. I've just picked up the recipient name and I want the taxable value. Now what will happen is, this is like the pivot table in Excel. This will group the sales as per the party name and tell me the total and the count. Now if you see here, for each of the parties, it tells me the count, percentage, and also gives me the sum. Not only that, now if I want to see which party has bought the maximum, I just do a single click. It can sort ascending or descending. So in this case, I know this Avenue Supermarts has bought 9 times and the total value is 9,57,000 rupees. Now if you look at again, if I click this here, so here there's only one party who's bought for only 55. Now if I want to look at based on the number, this is what I get. Okay, this is how I can get. Now if I want to do the analysis, I can just take this data into Excel. I click on this data will be saved in Excel. Now this I can do for any type of a data which has got character fields. For example, name. Now if you see all the data, I got it here. Let me come back to this one. Now in this case, I don't have I have only one type of a registered there. If the registered, unregistered, same function I can use and get the classification of sale as per the registered or the unregistered. Now here you had this invoice number. Now in the case of invoice number, it depends on what is the pattern of invoice they are taking. Based on that, I can also identify, for example, let's say I pick up on sample data. Now here I've got some sales transactions. I'm taking this because I have some data here, this one where I can show the test. Now here in this case, if you see, I want to show you the identify duplicates. Now I want to go to identify duplicates. Now if you see, this is built with the interface of Excel. What I want to find out duplicate based on the invoice number. I select the invoice number. I say, okay, I can also do duplicates in all, which means the exact duplicate means I select all the fields. I just say yes, then you see what will happen. I can get details or summary. Now you'll see the difference. So here it will go through, there are 6,666 invoices in this. It's gone through everything. Now it tells me these are the invoices which are duplicate. Now if you see 1034, 1034, Okay, 1,454, 1,054. It has come to this in so many times. So this is what I get, which means totally there are 24 invoices. I want to get the summary of this. I can do the same thing here. Identify duplicates. Now here same thing, invoice number. And then I say I want summary. I say okay. Now if you see here, this tells me now there are 3 invoice numbers which are blank. Okay, now I got 1,034 which has come twice, 1,454 which has come twice, 1,003, like that it gives me the complete total number of invoices which are this one. Now if you see the total here, it comes to 27 because here it has also found out the blank invoices. Now I want to see which are the invoices which are blank. I just double click. It will take me to this particular one. These are the vouchers where the invoice number itself are blank. Okay, now let me pick up one more. I want to show this data I want in Excel. I just click, it will be saved in Excel. I want to identify the gaps. Here you want to see whether there are invoice in gaps. This one, gaps in the invoice number. Now here what I do, see by default it picked up the invoice and gaps is based on the interval of 1. And I want to get the result. So what is that invoice? I have it's already selected the invoice number. I'll say okay. See now you find here, you remember 1,034 was a duplicate. Now I find here 1,035 is a gap, which means this invoice number itself is missing. 115 it is missing. Like that, it gives me all the gaps at one shot. So now if you look at the total number of invoices, we have about 6,666 invoices. And from that, we are able to pick up this information very, very quickly. Now let me see now if I want the sales data. Now I want to find out, let me do some analysis here. I want to find out what are the sales which has happened, and I want to know the sales as per day, let's say month, because for GST I want to do some monthly summary. I'm just picking this information. Now what I expect is I want the total sales month-wise for all the transactions of the year. Now you see I'm able to get the complete summary of the sales which has happened month-wise, May, June, like that. I'm able to get the complete sales month-wise. It also gives me the count. It also gives me the count of the sales, or the sum of the sales, and it also gives me a graphical analysis. So based on this, I can know on which month the sales. For example, I want to see which month the sales is the highest. This is lowest to highest. Again, I click, I get it from. So it means May, September. These are the months in which the sales is the highest. Now I want to extract details of the sales of, let's say, July. I just double click. It will extract all the sales of July.
Sir, can I get it product wise also if I have different product?
Yes. You can get it any way you can get. So there's no problem at all. Now, if you look at the same thing, now let me come back now to the sales voucher, what I had here. Now, let's say I've got this particular thing. I do have product here. Let me take up one example where I got the product data. For example, there is one file, index sheet. There is one procurement file. Okay. Now, this is here I've got the material code. Now, what I want to do is I want to find out as per the material code. The same principle, whatever be the data, if you as long as you have the data, you can get this information. I do classify. I can get by vendor name, material code, like that. Now, for example, I wanted based on the material code, and I want total of the, I can get quantity or amount, or let's say for the timing, I'm going to pick up only amount. I can pick up quantity also. Let me add quantity also then. Okay. So what is the result I expect? I want the total material purchase during the year as per the material code. See, the interface is very useful, very simple. So here, if you see, for each material code, I got the count of the material code, what is the percentage, what is the sum of the quantity, because I selected the quantity also, I also get the sum of the amount. Okay, same thing if I want to do, I can do the analysis and get it based on the percentage. Not only that, for example, I want to do further analysis here. I want to pick up what are the sales beyond, let's say, 5 lakh rupees. Here I can give this particular figure here. Now here I want to give, let's say, sales beyond 5 lakh rupees. I can get this information. So dynamically it will filter and get this information. Similarly, based on the quantity I want to check the analysis, I can do the analysis in the same way. Which are the place where I've got quantity, let's say greater than 5,000. See, it filters dynamically and gives you this information. So this is how you can do the grouping or analysis of the data. Now let's say I'll show you some powerful functions. You are doing audit. I'm not sure whether it comes under the scope of a GST audit. One of the things, important thing you can do is, we have something called the relative size factor. Now in the purchases they have made, I want to find whether the purchase has been uniformly made. Are there any irregularities? So what I want to do is, I want to go based on the material code and I pick up the unit price. Okay, what I want to know is, I want to apply the concept called relative size factor. The relative size factor is a ratio between the first highest and the second highest. Okay, I'll show you the result. It's very simple, very powerful formula, but very simple to use. So I have selected the material code, which means for each material code, it'll do the analysis. What are the first highest purchase? What are the second highest purchase? And give me the ratio, which means at one glance, I'll be able to pick up all the irregularities. What will be the number of items? Now here, if you see, if you look at the result, now this particular material code, I have purchased 74 times. The first maximum price, the highest I paid is 166.7. The second maximum price is 16.67. And the relative variance is 150, which means 10 times there is a variance. Now look at the value, I can also see maybe they have made a typing mistake while entering, or intentionally somebody has committed a fraud. If you look at the second item, so if you see here, number of items purchased 88. Now, and then you have got first maximum 1106, second maximum 190. So you see the variance is 5.82 times. So I'm able to do 100% audit of the data and pick up the irregularities. I want to see the details. I just double click here. Now this gives me the complete purchases of that particular material code. And now I want to see which is the purchase which I had where the rate was the highest. How do I pick up that information? Here if you see unit price. Now see 167.17. So most of the cases the price is around 17, but one product they have bought, I'm able to isolate and pick up the transaction where they bought at the highest rate. Yeah. Anything specific, Mahadev and Subbu?
Sir, in this, can we also write if something we want to add? For example, say the commission for a commission agent should be 15%.
Okay.
So I want to check what is the total commission paid. Is it exactly 15% in all the cases? So if I have to check.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Those type of things. See, if you want to do any calculation, no. See what you can do in this case is, I'll take the sales example and then show you. Let me pick up this one. See, if there are certain things which can be done easily in Excel, you can do in Excel itself. Because that competition which you're saying, I can do it easily in Excel itself.
Correct.
Okay, so here also we got one feature. Let me see, but that take a little time. Let me see. You have got this particular sales data. Now let me apply the. Let's see. I got the invoice value. Now I got this rate. Now what I want to check is, now taking the same concept here, instead of commission, let's say I want to see the rate. Okay. Now for example, for this taxable value, whether the invoice rate 18% has been applied, but the taxable value is correct. That's what I want to compare. Let's say in this case, if I have to do. Let's see if I can change this to. I can just change this to character. This one character. Now this is the rate I have got. Now what I want to know is, I want to look at the sales. Same function I use. Data. Classify. Here what I want to do is, which is the one I picked up. Let's look at the field here. Rate. So I want to pick up, I want to get the total sales, taxable. I want to pick the CGST amount. I want to pick the SGST amount, and I want to pick up this one. This is what I want from this. Yeah, I want the invoice value also. So based on the rate wise, I want this group. Now if you see, if I do this, let's see what will happen. You should be able to do the grouping. Now if you see here, total at one shot it gives me 12% sales, how many per this one time it has been made, 18% what is the count, and gives me the total sum of the value of this one. This I can just save it in Excel and then I can recompute and check. Okay, now
how will I save it, sir?
No, I just go here, click here, Excel. This will be saved in Excel. That's all.
Is there any feature of comparing two sheets? like VLOOKUP kind of thing or something?
Okay, very good. That's an interesting question. I'll just take you for this one. So now what I'll do is I come to this. There is a this is also a very interesting feature. So if you look at this one, I have got this invoice. 1 minute. Where is the invoice? I've got this invoice. Okay, I'm just taking an example of invoice. This could be purchase invoice or sales invoice. I got invoices of 2016 and invoice of 2017. Now here, if I come down, see, I got about 5,000 invoices here in 2017, and in 2016, I have got about 4,263. These are actual sales. Okay, I'm going to take the 2016 as the base and do a comparison. How do I compare? I'll just show you. What we do is I have got analysis, compare, and by files. Now it picks by default. It shows the exact file 2016 as selected. I want to select 2017. I've selected 2017. Now I need to select on what criteria I want to compare. Let's say I want to compare what is the sales made as per the customer wise, which means 2016 which customers purchased, 2017 which customers purchased, and I want the total of the sales amount. Okay, and here also I want the amount. Simple, that's all. So once I do this and say okay, now it will go and compute the sales between each of this customer wise for each of the years and gives me. There's another type of comparison. I'll show you that also. Now here, if you see, I got to complete this one for each customer number 10,000. 3 has been sold in the first, second, and what's the difference? Second year 5. What's the difference? And what the total amount and the total secondary amount? This you cannot do even through this one in Excel also, because this requires a lot of computation. Same way I want to do product wise. Let's say I want to do the same thing. If I want to do comparative analysis, you can do multiple ways. Same analysis, I want to pick up 2017. Yeah. Now what I want to do is I want to do based on the, let's say, product, which means based on product wise, I want to make a comparison. Okay, I've got this particular thing. And then I say, I have to select, no, 1 minute. I wanted to select based on the product here. So this is product number, which means product wise, what has been the sales, and I want total based on the, let's say here, I want to see, look at the quantity, which means based on the quantity for the each of the year, how does it compare? Now here you will find that it does the analysis for each of the years. It compares product number 1, what are the total quantity sold, first year, second year, what is the difference, and what is the total quantity for each of the years. And I can also drill down and check. Now here, now that could be possible. I want to check which product was sold in the, let's say I put a 0. Now can you tell me what is this happened here? 0 means this product was not sold during the last year, but this product was sold during the current year. Same way, if I put a 0 here, I should be able to pick out, I think there's no item here, which means if there are any products which have been sold last year but not sold during the current year. This is one type of a comparison. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Now I'll show you one more thing. What I want to do was, I think what Subbu was referring to could be another one. Subbu, is this what you're looking for, or there's another type of compare? Because if you
show me the other one also, you show me, sir.
Yeah. So now I have got the sales transactions. When you say compare, okay, tell me what does that compare you mean actually? So similar to VLOOKUP?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, let me see this one. Now I've got the sales transactions. Now I've got the sales authorization limit. Okay. What I want to know is I want to join this. This, if you see, we already saw there are 66 number of transactions, 6,000 plus transactions. I've got the user ID here and I got the sales authorization limit here. Okay. Now I want to check now whether this particular thing, I want to join this to add the authorization limit here so that I can check whether any transactions which have been passed are beyond the authorization limit. So in VLOOKUP, what do? I use a VLOOKUP, join these two things, add the data here, then I can do a compare, then find out the exceptions. Here we have in this one ECAT, we have got something called relate, where you can join the files. So when I say join, there are various types of join which you can do. For example, I want to append files. Append files means I got, let's say, payroll file for 12 months. I want to append all of them, put them together at one shot. I can do that. Okay, here I'm just going to say join files. This function can only if second file has unique values. Yes. The function will take some time. Do you want to perform the background? I'll say no, I want to see the result aligned. So here it by default is picked up the file which I got. I'm going to pick up the sales authorization limit. This is the sales authorization limit. What do you want to compare, pick up data based on? I want to pick up based on the user ID is equal to user ID. Okay, this come. Now, what are the criteria? Only match records from both the tables, or records in primary file not available. Like that, there are multiple things which are possible. I'll just show one example. I'll say only match records from both the tables, which means wherever the transactions made, which are the one which are matching. Okay, I'll say okay. So here in this case, what will happen is this, because the number of transactions high, this takes a little time. This task will be performed in the background. Once it is done, you get the result. Now you see, I've got the result. Now these are all the transactions where the user IDs are matching. Okay, which means now if you see there are totally 6,066 out of this. All the transactions are available. Okay. No, I think we are okay. That is being done in the background.
Same sheet.
No, it's the same sheet. No, it's being done in the background. I think here, see if you see ETA scheduler, that's being done in the background. I got confused. Okay, let's perform one more function. Let's see whether I can do it in the other way. Okay, I got the sales transaction.
Can you see the sampling, sir? What is there in sampling?
That's very good. I think that's a good idea. Now here, give me an example. Now, if you got this, what type of sampling do you want to do? We have got 34 types of sampling.
We want to see all that, because what is happening is we don't have a standard method to take up this sampling.
Okay,
So
what I can do is maybe I'll show you one or two. I've done a recording of 15 types of sampling which you can do. Only examples of 15 types. I think I'll give
maybe you can show us only one or two. That should be enough.
Yeah. Let me pick up. I think something went wrong there. Let's see. Let's come back to this one. Let me show you the sampling part. Now, if you see here sampling, I'll show you one by one some quick examples. I go to sampling. Okay, sampling by selection. By interval, which means when I say interval, I want to pick up sampling. It's a very simple this one based on the interval. Now I got 6,000. I want to pick up sample based on, let's say, 200, interval of 200. It just picks up based on 200. Okay, which means out of the, it gives me totally 300. So if you look at the record, first will be the first record, after that 2 on first record, 4 on first record, like that, it picks up the sample. This is one example. Second, I'll take you from simple to the complex. Selection by numbers. Now, there are 6,000 records. I want to pick up, let's say, 30 records. So I'll say I want to pick up 30 records. Okay, and that should be by random. So when I say 30 records, by default, it will apply its own random logic and give me 30 records. I wanted 30, but it's given me 59. What is the reason? Because some of the records are duplicates with the same date if you picked up, no, but some of the records are duplicates, so it picks up the same thing again. So this is one. Let me give you one more interesting this one. Now I got sampling. Now here sampling based on total count. Here also that's also not. Now let's pick up the criteria based on analysis. Okay, this is numeric. Let me profile stratified. Let me pick up the stratified sampling. Now stratified sampling, what I want to do is I want to do sampling based on the value. I just do not want to pick based on anything. So I pick up the sales. Now here again I have got the sales. Okay, now it tells me the minimum value is 500, the maximum value is 2,26,500. So the interval by default it has taken divided the difference and divided by 10 and got 22,600. I can accept this or I can change my interval. Let for the timing I'll accept it. I say autofill, fill, so it means already done. Then I say okay. Now if you see, it has created a strata or buckets. Between 500 to this one, how many records are there? Between 23,100 to 45,600, how many records are there? Like that, has created a sample. Okay. Now in this, I want to do the sampling. I just click on sampling here. Now it gives me the option to go and add the number of samplings. For example, in this case, I want to add 10. In this case, let's say I want to add, let's say 12. Now in this case, I already have 856. Let's say I want to pick up 15 because higher value, I want to pick up higher number of samples. Now 67 are there. Let's say I want to pick up 10%, 7. Now 11 are there. In this case, 11, I want to pick up all the 11. Now in this 6 are there. I want to pick up 6. So I can say here we have got only 1. I want to pick up that. Here also 1. And I say extract. So this will be extracted exactly on the criteria what you're given. Okay, when I say click extract, it will extract, and this is the total number of samples. Based on the value you have selected, you will find it will be, this data will be available based on all the criteria I've given. Okay, now you see 2,26,500 like that based on this. This is called as random stratified sampling.
Sir, I'll tell you one combination. Just tell
Yeah.
us if it is possible. So I want to see the sales to all the customers of the highest value.
Okay, so of the highest value. Okay, in that case, we have got a function called top last X. Let me see where is it available. Top last X here. Now here I've got the top last X. Now based on the sales I want to pick, and I want to group it based on the customer name. Okay, now I come back here. So it means customer name, it gives me the number of customers. Here I think I can select only some minimum number of customers only. Let me see what I can do. For the timing, I'll just pick up a few for the purpose of demo. I'm just picking some examples. Okay, now input here, I have to give what is the total number of records I want. Let's say I want to pick up the top 10. Okay, so if you say top 10, for each of the 10 customers, it will give me the top 10 sales made to the particular customer. Okay, for each customer, if you see, now in this case, Amir, it's only one because there's only one transaction. So Aarti Mayor, there's so many transactions. Okay, like that I can pick up. Now in Asthana, I've got so many transactions. Like that I can pick up based on the value. Okay, is there any specific thing you want?
No, that's what I wanted to check, sir. Can you check on that aspect, sir, whether I can select all the customers with the highest value? Because you selected only few customers.
Yeah. No, that's what. Yeah, because there are some. Let me just see. What I can also do, there are multiple ways of doing that. Let me see. I can do the same thing in a different way. Let's pick that. MIS. Now here I've got MIS. I got the sales. I got MIS. Then I have count some percentage. Okay, now I want to do group by the name. Okay, let me see what result I get. Okay, I have to select what this one is. What that I want to do based on the month wise of this one. Let's say I do based on the let me pick up month wise itself. Yes. So here, what's happening in this case? See, for each of the customer, I got for each of the month, what is the total number of transactions made? Okay, I'm not able to get the highest and the lowest in this. So here you get this one for each of the customers. For each of the months, it gives me month-wise analysis for the sales. Okay, let me come back to the same thing what you wanted. Let's see whether I can get the top text for all the customers. I think there is a restriction that will give 50 at a time. Let me see. So here I wanted sales. I wanted group by based on the customer. Yeah. So it's giving me everything. Let's say select all. Then input. Now here I want to select, let's say, top 10. Details. Okay. It says only 50 can be selected in this case. So that's the restriction there. Let me see if I can do the summary. Please select only 50. So in this case, there's some issue. We've got this one, but I think we can do that easily. That's not a problem. You can also do through the pivot table in Excel itself. What you're asking, I can also I'll show you through the pivot table. You can also do through the pivot table. I'll just see in our case how that can be done.
Okay.
I'm going to show the pivot table.
No, not required, sir. I wanted to check if it is there in the sampling tab which you have.
No, in sampling, what is that you wanted? Can you just tell me? Let me get another sampling.
If this is generally what we do is we take all the customers and we would like to see the highest value sales to that particular customer. This is one of the way in which we do the sampling. So I wanted to know whether that system is considered in your sampling method.
Highest sales. Okay, let me see. That is numeric. No, for each of the customer. No, okay. Now numeric stratified. What I got now. Numeric stratified will give me the data because I can pick up the highest bracket and group it by the name. You should be able to give me based on that category. Let me show you one more example. Let's see. So here analysis, sampling. profile based on classified. We can also do aging in this. Okay, now here what I want to do is sales group by, I have got the name classified. Okay, which means I got based on the name, I want the total sales. Yes, that's all I want here. Let's see whether we can get. Now here for each of the customers, it gives me what are the total number of transactions which have happened. It gives me the sum of sales. It gives me the counter. Okay, then let me say I want the sampling here. In this case, when I do the sampling, it is able to give me the complete this one. Maybe we can add that field. I think we don't have that as of now. We can also add the field where I can give you the highest sales for that. So here what's happening is I get the total sales for each of the customers. Okay, so I can pick up now, for example, here for each, I can pick up the high value customers at one shot. See this Meena Pasani 12 transactions, 6,51,240. Suman 23 transactions, 5,78. Like that, I can also pick up based on this. Or if I go down here, it gives me lower based on the low values. So this is one way you want, but inside this, I want to pick up the higher value. But that I think as of now we don't have. Here you can drill down and get this. Maybe in that case we have to add one more field called highest. We should be able to get that.
That's possible, sir.
Yeah, it's possible. No, we have to change because we have developed the software now. You give me an idea, I can add that. That's not a problem. Okay. See, if let's say in this case I want to pick up 5, in this case I want to pick up 4. I can also pick up based on sample percentage. Which means I say for each of this I want to 5%, 4% like that. I can give the percentage. It will go and pick up based on this particular percentage. It will compute the percentage automatically. Based on the count, it will compute this and give me the samples. I'll say extract. It will give me the sample. Okay, because 12 transactions, 5% means it's only 1, so that's how it is picked up.
Yeah.
So what you could do is, if you can tell me specifically these are the 10 things I'm looking for or 12 things you're looking for, I can check what is actually possible, and there is anything which is not possible. I can also, if it's possible, we can add that as a feature.
Yeah, sure, sir. We'll get back to you on that. Meanwhile, can I know what are all the features which are there in this product, sir? Is there any write-up or something like that?
No, if you see, so I think no, I'll tell you. I think what we can do is, if you go to my YouTube channel, let me go to the website. If you go to wincat.com, so if wincat.com, if you go to the products, let's say I go to eCat. What I showed you is only eCat. Here, if you go to eCat, now if you see, come down here, I got this one, harnessing power data analytics for assurance and compliance, 51 key functions of eCat. Here I've selected 51 key functions, and given, I have made a list of about 5 to 6 videos. And in this, for example, the first video will give you what is okay, this is the first video. Second video will talk about overview of data analytics. Then if you look at the third one, this is where I specifically get into walk through the specific functions. So here, okay, let me stop this. Now if you see here, I've also given specific functions which I've used. Okay, so you can, if you want to see, like I showed you, sample, this one, random sampling. You directly go to random sampling, it gives. Like that, I have got now similarly again. I have got one more this one where I got another 12 functions. Like that, totally I got 51. Now we have got something like a fuzzy match. Investigate single or multiple. See here I've explained. So here, for example, you're talking about relate. No, I think I could not show. There is some issue in the software. So here we got something called join files. See 23, which means it's about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
See sales transaction, sales authorization limit. See this is how I selected this one. So like that, I think there are multiple. This one I have got. I think more than, like I said, no, about 51 functions. Fuzzy match near, normalize, SoundX, something called SoundX with the same name Rafiq, for example, RAFEQ, RAFIQ, RAFEEQ, like that you can multiple, no? You'll be able to pick up all the things. Hello? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to hear me?
Sir, is there any limitation on, hello, I have a question, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Is there any limitation on number of line items which we can analyze in?
See, if you see the software, there's an add into Excel. So which means Excel can handle depending on your computer. Let's say now you're using Microsoft 365 or you're using Office 2016. It can easily handle about to 1 lakh records without any issues. And if your computer, let's say, is 8 GB or so, then I think it can handle. We have tested it on this one for an e-commerce company for 9 lakh transactions.
Your voice is
Not able to hear you, sir.
It's getting stuck.
Is it? Okay. Now are you able to hear me?
Yes, clear.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have tested for an e-commerce company for about 9 lakh records.
Okay. More than sufficient.
So the only question is, in that case, the capacity of this one. Now, sometimes that's where in that case, we also have got the option, you can perform it in background. Because it has to run a query, perform certain thing, it will take some time. So it depends on what is the configuration and speed of the computer.
Okay.
There's no problem.
Now, to use this tool, all the data should be on the Excel, right? So first we have to import the data onto the Excel, then we should use this tool.
Yeah. So in this case, this is an add into Excel. So in this case, what happens, the data you just export and keep it in Excel in a structured format. Structured format means the first row has got the headers. Now in between you find there will be no blank rows. Okay, and the column names, everything should be properly harmonized. We also got a function called harmonize sheets that will take care of that. So for example, you cannot give a special symbol in the column name like that. There are a few things. So that automatically you run this function, harmonize sheet will take care.
It will take care means it will rectify that, it will remove that, or it will show us that there is...
No, it will rectify that. For example, I got this one, let's say CGST percentage, rate percentage, you use percentage as a column here. I had percentage as a column. So it will remove the CGST percentage and then give the data and then you can use it. So generally what we recommend is you take a copy of the data and then you perform the analysis. Not do anything with the original data, only the column heading we will slightly modify.
Yeah.
Okay, for example,
sir, I can see a lot of functions which are there even in this IDEA software, correct?
Yeah.
So is there anything which is there in IDEA but not in this? I have not seen IDEA much.
No, if you look at IDEA, IDEA is a data analytics software which is an independent software. So what you can do in that case is whatever data you got, you can import the data into IDEA. It has its own database. Okay, in our case, for similar to IDEA, if you want, we have got, if you come to us, this one, we have got something called Softcat. Okay, Softcat is an independent data analytics software where you can import the data. Now here we made it convenient because most of the cases, if you got the data in this one, Excel, directly you can do most of the analysis in Excel itself. So IDEA is a data analytics software. It's an independent software. You import the data and probably it has got about 100 functions which you can perform. Okay, but here in this case, we have got both options. Here you can use ECAT as if you, most of the cases you're getting data in Excel, you can use ECAT itself. It will take care of most of the cases. And here we have added, like I said, about 300 plus functions are there.
So you're saying the only difference is the database.
Yes.
So if I store something in IDEA, so it will not consume my database. It will be there on cloud.
No, not like that. In the case of IDEA, it's an independent software. Like you have got another software, any other software like Tally. It will be a separate software. Whatever data you want, for example, you can import data in different formats. In Excel database, I get the data into IDEA. And then I can perform these functions. Okay, whereas in ECAT, what happens is it's an independent software, but it's added to Excel itself. So once you got the data in Excel, see this ECAT, this is not available in all these functions which I got now. These are not available in Excel. These all the 300 plus functions we have developed. Now Excel is the international software. It costs you also internationally. Okay, so if you want similar software,
this Softcat which you are saying,
Softcat is
it is similar to IDEA.
Yeah, similar to IDEA.
Which is completely independent software.
Yes, correct.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Fine,
now
sir.
if you see, in our case, we also, if you go to this one TCAT, I think I couldn't show you TCAT. TCAT is a deep, now if you see here, why to use TCAT? It's an automated solution for exporting data of masters and transactions from Tally to MS Excel in a few clicks, so that you can perform further analysis. Now, if you want to see this one videos, I've also got introduction videos.
Features
Demo.
are similar, right?
No. See, what happens in the case of TCAT, I can export data. For example, let me show, this is the Tally data. I got the Tally data. Now, this could be used for any type of audit. For example, now here, I come to this one. Let's say I open on sample sheet. Now, if you see TCAT, when I click on TCAT, the functions are completely different. Okay, now let's say I want to extract the master info from Tally for that particular company which I opened. So what it'll do is it'll give me the option to go and import all the Tally data directly into my Excel. Now, if you see, these are all the types of reports which are available. I'm just selecting only the accounting masters. When I say accounting masters, I say okay. Okay, now what it'll do is in Tally, when you export, most of the time the data doesn't come in a structured way. Here you find the data comes to you in a structured way. See all this list of ledgers, ledger group, voucher types, everything, whatever is saved in Tally, I can get the data in a structured way. So now it's already imported. Now if you see expense ledger, these are all the expense ledgers available in Tally. So using itself, I can decide how I want to do the audit. I can prepare my audit plan. Similarly, all the groups which have been configured, how it has been configured. For each of the accounts, I can know whether bill-wise configured, is cost center done, revenue, affect gross profit, like that. What are the configurations inside Tally I can get? What are the type of voucher types they have given? What are the numbering? How does it affect? All this configuration is set. What are the numbering method they're following? Everything you can get as a part of documentation again, I can get and do the analysis. So all the ledger groups which have been created, what are the ledger groups? What
This
are the
will not have functions like sampling, is it?
Which one? No, TCAT is not. TCAT is only for the purpose of exporting the data from Tally to here. It doesn't have any sampling or anything like that.
Okay, this is not for audit then.
This is not for audit. This is for only getting the data from Tally to Excel in a structured format. Now we have a few functions in this. For example, here Tally also gives you some sample audit functions, but those are by default what is available. For example, let's say I want to do a ledger scrutiny. So when I do a ledger scrutiny, now I want to find out accounts squared out during the year, accounts not used, accounts with no transactions. So let's say I select all. Okay, now from Tally, it will extract all this information and give you in one single workbook. So this is what, so which means this has got limited audit features. But once you get this data in Tally, in Excel, you can use ECAT and do further analysis.
Okay, got it, sir.
Now it just extracting, so all this 10, 15 reports, now see it's already extracted here. Now if you see, now what are the accounts squared off during the year? Now when I take the trial balance, this will not come. Why? Because these transactions, debit, credit, both balance are balanced, right? Its balance is zero. Unless you select zero balance transaction also. Then I have got accounts with no transactions during the year. And this I can use it for preparing the audit plan for each of the groups. It gives me the summary. Then what are the payables? What are the accounts which are not being used during the year? Like that, it gives you various features. There's one more thing here called as audit exceptions. See here, I can find out negative ledgers, negative stock. When I say select all, when I say okay, now all these reports will be extracted and you'll get it in a few seconds. So this becomes a part of your audit analysis.
Okay.
This is what TCAT all about. ECAT is primarily data analytics software. So if you see here, now here what is that I was looking at? Transactions which have been done on a holiday. I can pick up this information. What are the fixed assets, additions, everything I can get, overdue receivable, overdue, negative, all these things I can get a one shot. Not only that, it also creates an index page. So index page.
So what's the difference between ECAT and TCAT?
ECAT is the independent data analytics software. Okay, now which if you see our website, I think we get this. Let me see whether graphically I can explain. See, ECAT is a data analytics software. It's an add-in to Excel software, easy to use, simple to learn. Look and feel of Excel, but with the power of the database. So it has got more than 300 functions. You can perform any type of analysis. Okay. Whereas if you look at TCAT, TCAT is primarily meant to get the data of masters and transactions from Tally to Excel.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. And you can also do, once you got the data in Excel, you can use ECAT to do further analysis.
Okay. So if I have ECAT, so I can use data from Tally or any software, correct?
You can use, but the only problem is when you get export data from Tally, Tally doesn't get the data in a structured way. Okay, because the columns will not be proper, heading will not be proper, those particular problems will be there, so you'll not be able to filter. That's why we developed this TCAT.
Okay.
I'll just show you one example. I think that will make it clear. For example, I have got this. Let's say I have this TCAT. I can now in Tally, I got something called a daybook. So here I want to do analysis. I can export. I can see all the daybook transactions at one shot. When I export this, you'll find that date will come in first row, second row it will not come because one transaction could have one too many. For example, one debit that could be 3 credits. So date will be only in the first row. Whereas here, if you see, I go to daybook and I say I want transactions of the daybook. Now, if you see here, I have got transaction type, party name. Okay, I have just from 1412 to 3013. Now you see all the ledger transactions, all the daybook transactions for all the ledgers. It will extract from Tally and give it to you in Excel in a structured manner. So what is the difference? I'll show you the report, then you'll get an idea how it looks. Once you got the data like this, you can do further analysis. You can use Excel. See, now I got this complete data from 2nd April 2012 to 31/3, which means 2,500 rows are there. Once I got this data, now I want to do further analysis based on this. Now, for example, I can just use a filter and do analysis. When I export from Tally, I'll not be able to get this data in this format. Now, if I take this one, I can go and filter. For example, I want to pick up transactions pertaining to rent. Okay, now it tells me these are all the rents which are there. Now I want to pick up, let's say, pertaining to office rent. Now these are the accounts which are pertaining to office rent. Now I can filter and pick up, which means I can do a ledger scrutiny directly here. Now this gives me complete transactions directly here. So it means all the ledgers I got in Excel in one page. And I can do the analysis. Not only that, I can also perform ECAT functions on this. For example, I want to find out what are the vouchers which are as per the general vouchers, how many number of transactions have been passed. I want to find out as per the ledger, I want to get a summary. I can also do that. Let me save and then show. Yeah. Anything else, Mahadev and Subbu?
Nothing from my side.
Mahadev.
So Subbu?
I want to know whether it is a desktop or kind of software or how to do it. System based, how many number or something like that.
Yeah. This is a desktop based software. This is a single user software. You can install it on your desktop or laptop. Okay, this cannot be installed on the server as of now, unless if you are using a server and you are using multi-user Excel. We are also looking at whether you can develop a separate version for that.
No, it is all standalone, sir.
Yeah, mostly standalone. Now, if you see, I've got this data. See the Tally data. What I got, for example, the client is using SAP. I asked him to export all the transactions from SAP. Now I want to do the analysis. For example, here I said data. I just use classify. And I say based on the ledger name. So it means I'm actually generating automatic trial balance from the transactions directly. So for all the transactions, it's preparing a summary. Now at one glance, you see here, I'll be able to get for each of the ledger names. It gives me what are the number of transactions, what are the percentage, what is the sum of debit, what is the sum of credit. Now what you find in the first case, I think there's one transaction which is blank. I think that could be manufacturing journal. Now I want to see which are the transactions which have got the maximum debit. Okay, now you see HDFC account which has got the maximum this one, purchase account at this one. Like that, I'll be able to analyze further. See here, I can get based on the credit. So it means I dynamically created a trial balance based on the transactions. Okay. Yeah. Anything else you want me to this one next show?
Yes, sir. We are okay with the functionalities which you have shown us. What about the pricing, sir, of this ECAT?
Pricing. Okay, I'll just give you the pricing. 1 minute. I just want to show you one more thing. In ECAT, I've got one more. If you go to this section, I think we have got one more. This one called harnessing power data analytics. So here also I made a presentation for the institute where I explained various functions. You can also get an idea. Here also, I think second video I made a presentation pertaining to various functions. Yeah, see, stratified data, aging, summarized data. You got something called cluster quadrant analysis. So similarly, you got sampling, split data. For example, I got all the transactions. I want to split it based on month-wise. I can split it. We also got something called Pareto analysis, 80-20 rule, Benford law. You can consolidate files, compare files like that. I think we just click on this, you'll be able to get an idea. Okay. Now regarding the pricing, now if you look at ECAT price, 1 minute, let me come to Excel. Now if I come to, we have got different types of pricing. If you look at ECAT, for the first license, for practicing CS after 50% discount, it comes to 10,500 plus GST. This is for the first license, which means as a firm you buy one license, you'll pay 10,500 for the first license plus GST. Okay, for the second license, any additional license you buy, okay, so there will be 50% discount on this, which means you'll pay 5,250 per additional license.
Okay.
Okay, this is for ECAT. This is for the ECAT.
Okay.
Okay, for TCAT, this one standard price is 17,000. For practicing CS, it is 8,500. And the pricing is the same way. So when you go to the second license, it will be 50% discount, 4,250. Okay. For example, let's say you buy 4 licenses. Your first license you pay 10,500. For the next 3 licenses, 5,250 to 3.
This is for what term?
This is for 1 year. For the first year. So renewal will be 50% of the price you paid for the first year.
Okay, when you say 50%, first license I'll pay 10,500. So second year I'll be paying
5,250.
5,250.
Yeah, for the second license you paid 5,250. Then you will be paying 50%, which is 2,625.
Third year?
Sorry?
Third year?
No, it continues the same way. It continues the same way next year. So as of now, we kept it for next 3 years the same price. We hold the same price.
No, I thought again we'll get 50% discount off second year's price.
Then it'll keep on reducing. So 50% paid for this is for the first year. Okay, this is for the second year.
Yeah.
Okay, third year also it will be same.
I got it, sir.
Yeah. Otherwise, 50-50, we have kept it very nominal.
What is this first license and additional license? First license means how many we should take?
No, first license.
No. If you buy only one license, you will be charged 10,500. Say if you buy 3 license, for first license you will be charged 10,500. Second and third license will be at 5,250. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, Madhav, you're right.
For example, in my 10 branches, our branches, if we want to take entirely for only one license, it will be 10,500 rupees thing.
No,
other, if at all I want some 100 licenses.
Yeah. No, if you we also got some bulk discount. Suppose you buy a major discount, you buy a group, then maybe we'll give some additional discount. That depends on the number of licenses. Suppose Guru Jana bought 20 licenses. Okay, Guru Jana bought 20 licenses of ECAT and TCAT. For them, in addition to this pricing, we also give them special discount.
Okay. What about the support, sir?
Support, most of the case support will be provided online throughout this. For example, right from the time we want to activate the software, we have online support team which will help you to activate. They'll take the system on any desk or team viewer and help to resolve the issues.
Now, when I say support, mainly on usage of these features, because you said there are around 300 functions. We got a demo for say 10 functions.
Yeah.
But we may be using around 100 functions.
What I plan to do is Yeah, I got the point. What I plan to do is, see, I've already got about, like I showed you the video, no? There are 51 functions. I've got another 30 functions. Like that now, I'm also planning to develop an online course. So for each of the functions, I'm going to have a demo videos with specific examples. And for our subscribers, maybe I'll offer that at a commercial price. In addition to that, I'm also planning to have weekly webinars. For our customers, what are doubts you got, you can check. But if there's anything specific, urgent, you want to do some analysis, you want to have a doubt, you can always get in touch with me. So that's how we provide the support. Hello?
Yeah. The support, there is no additional charge. Hello?
During the, there's no additional charges for the support. Okay, because this concept is very simple. You buy license for 1 year. You find you do not want to renew. You don't renew. You don't if you buy license, what we'll also do is every month we keep on giving new updates. It will come free, and any support you want will be free. After 1 year, you don't renew. The software will not work, and there is no support also.
Okay.
As long as you buy the software, renewal is there. There will be free support and free updates.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah. Okay. So if now it's up to you to decide. Now, if you have any specific thing, let's say for GST audit, let's say there are 12 things you want to do. I think you can tell me. Then based on that, I can show you another demo later on. Or if you've got some sample data also, you can share the sample data and tell me, see, we have got this data. You can sanitize the data and tell me this is what I want to perform. I can share that with you. I can do that. It's up to you how you want to go about. Or you can ask your team also to go through the videos.
We'll do that, sir.
Yeah.
Time. Sure. You have to give us 15 days time, but
hello.
But before that, maybe inquire and tell us if it is already there. Hello. Sir, we can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
Muted by mistake. Yeah. Tell me, I didn't get you. Can you tell me 15 days time you wanted?
We want 15 days time, but maybe in another 2-3 days, we'll give you a list of analysis which we make. So you can confirm us whether those analysis can be done in this ECAT.
Yes. Okay, very good.
Subbu, anything else?
That's all, Anna.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, Madhav. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. I'll get in touch with you.
Okay, Madhav. Right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.